Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaura Chandra Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Gadadhar Jaya Srinivas Jaya Mukunda Vasudevi Jaya Haridas.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our continuing series on celebrating Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We've had such a great time this last few weeks, and we still have another about 10 days to go until we celebrate Gaur Purnima. And we're going to be putting together a compendium of all of the shows that we've been doing so that you can catch up on Gaur Purnima Day and watch what you've missed. And of course, you can continue to watch it going on into the future. So today it's my great pleasure to share with you a talk from one of our esteemed sannyasi devotees here in India. I know him from his early days in ISKCON when he was here in Mayapur. He's an initiated disciple of Bhakti Prema Swami Maharaj, but he has a background in medicine and was taking care of all of our medical services here for the community. But increased his enthusiasm for spreading Krishna consciousness and joined Maharaj in developing the center in Ujjain, where he now serves as a co-temple president of that project. He became a sannyasi when he was there. Just checking here, that was in, what year was that? Well, let's see. There's some notes here. I don't remember the actual year. Somewhere around 2004 or so around that time. Anyhow, he took the sannyas ashram and has been a leading sannyasi in India since that time, a wonderful speaker. So he'll be speaking today about the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I very much look forward to hearing his talk, and now we're going to share that with you. So I ask our technical team to bring him on, and then I'm going to go back and listen.
Jana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jano Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanto Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Pashtatta Deshatarini Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Shabdantikam Vandeyaham Shri Guru Srijita Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Shajivam Swadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanithamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalavatarubhasya Kripasindhapevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We will discuss today teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami. It's nicely mentioned in 9th 15th chapter of Madhurya Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishna Consciousness Goswami. We are Rupanuga, the followers of Rupa Goswami. In letter of instruction, Srila Prabhupada in the very beginning mentioned that Rupa Raghunatha Pada Hoi Vyakuti Kave Ham Bachavashi Jugalapiri. To explain this Narottam Das Thakur's song, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that Akuti, attachment, means when you will understand the teachings of Rupa and Sanatana, the Goswamis. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the love embodied Krishna Prema, nobody has given before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Radharani loved Krishna. So who can understand? Those are the follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why Goswamis are the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if you want to understand the pastimes of Radha Krishna, then you should learn from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That means through the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never wrote any books. So he taught to his disciples, especially Goswamis. So if we want to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mode, we should try to understand the teachings of Rupa and Sanatana. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled whole India, Kavo Dakshin, Kavo Gaura, Kavo Vrindavan. He traveled throughout India. He not so many places taught people, just chant, dance, and showed mercy. But he especially gave time to Rupa and Sanatana in the Shashwat Ghat. 10 days Mahaprabhu taught him. Sanatana Goswami also Mahaprabhu taught him 2 months in Varanasi. So Mahaprabhu did mass preaching and class preaching also. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose these two brothers, Rupa and Sanatana, and empowered them also. Another thing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we see that his purpose of incarnation was to distribute holiness, that the father of Sankirtan. And he made Haridas Thakur the Acharya of holiness, who born in Muslim families. And 2 leaders, Rupa and Sanatana, they also ostracized, ostracized by so-called Brahmins in those days, as they are working under Muslim governments. But though they are by birth are Brahman, but due to association with Muslim kings, they thought themselves that fallen. But the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recognized their greatness. When someone returned from Vrindavan, everybody used to ask, how about Rupa and Sanatana? Mahaprabhu jato baro bhakto matro, Rupa Sanatana Shava Kripa Gaura Patro. Rupa Sanatana, there are so many stalwart disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Rupa and Sanatana especially were the object of love and also object of honor. If someone visits Vrindavan, keho jodi deshe jay dekhe Vrindavan, tare prashna karen Prabhu parishad kara. The associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will ask them, oh, are you coming from Vrindavan? How? How about Rupa and Sanatana? how are they maintaining their livelihood? They will ask, कहो तहा कोई से रहे रूप सनातन, कोई से रहे, कोई से वैराग्य, कोई से भोजन. Please tell us how Rup Sanatana is passing the days, how they are living, what is their renunciation, what are they eating, what are they doing. कोई से अष्टप्रहर करे श्री कृष्ण भजन तभी प्रशंसा खाए श्री भक्त. And Ashtaprahar, 24 hours is called Ashtaprahar, 8 prahars. 1 prahar is 3 hours. So Ashtaprahar is 24 hours. So devotee used to ask them, so how are they spending their 24 hours? Then they used to explain, actually they're Aniket, they have no residence. Aniketo duhe, bone jata vrikshagan, ek ek vikkar tale ek ek ratrisha. They are Aniket, they have no permanent residence. And they used to spend night under tree. And not only that, each night is tree. They are so careful that they will attach with some tree. That is why they did not spend more than one night under one tree. And whatever the cooking, they used to maintain their livelihood by begging. Vipro grihe sthula bhikha kaha madhukari. Madhukari means, madhukar means honeybee. Honeybee collect small thing from each flower. So, madhukari means begging. They used to maintain livelihood by begging. And shushka ruti chana chibaya bhokpori. And they used to chew dry chapatis and chana. Bhokpori hari. Because they're so fearful. If we take delicious chapatis with ghee and soft one, that house, their chapati is very good. They give smell cow ghee, nice chapati, sabji is very good. I'll go that house. So maybe there means attachment. They're so fearful about not to attach, not to entangle by the sense gratification. That is why they used to chew dry chapatis and chana. So, bhog pori hari. They are very careful. They should not be attached or entangled due to sense gratification. We can see the hunter cases the animal through their by allowing them sense gratification. So Maya also allows us through our sense gratification. So if we are not allowed by sense gratification, Maya cannot touch us. So they are so careful. Bhog pori hari. Even people can give other things like he cannot see, he cannot hear, but one cannot give up eating. But okay, but for eating also we may be allowed by delicious food. That is so much cautious not to eat delicious food. Gora matra hate kantha chira bahirvash Krishna naam Krishna katha nartana vilas. They carry only water pot. So for the sadhus, at least water is required. Other may not require water for cleanliness also. They carry only water pots, and they were torn quilts. They always chant the holy names of Krishna and discuss Krishna's pastime. In great jubilation, they also dance. Sometimes kirtan, singing, maybe people sometimes due to suffering. People sometimes sing due to suffering, sings. But due to suffering, nobody dance. But singing and dancing, both is the sign of jubilation. The Krishna Consciousness is very, very powerful. Ashtaprahar Krishna Bhajan Charidanda Shayani Krishna Nam Sankirtana Shivanahi Karate. Ashtaprahar, there are 24 hours. Sometimes they used to take rest. Charlie Dhamma is 96 minutes, that is 1.5 hours. They used to take rest, but not that also every day. Like they do Krishna Ekadashi day and Janmashtami other day. No time for sleep. Those days, other days, the maximum they used to take rest 1.5 hours. What you used to do? Whole day, like 22.5 hours, 24 hours. What are they doing? Yes, Kahu Shastra, Kahu Bhakti Rasa Shastra Kareno Likhan, Chaitanya Kata Shune Kare Chaitanya Chintan. Sometimes they used to write scriptures because that was the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nana Shastra Vicharenoi Kunipunu. They were very expert in scrutinizingly understanding the essence of the scripture. They were very expert. So, wholly they were chanting. Also, sometimes they used to hear and chant Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. When people, those who are returning from Vrindavan, when they used to explain such a devotees become so astute. So how one person can do like that? How a person can do like that? Then some look at why it is impossible. If someone is blessed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nothing is impossible for him. That is also, Rupa Goswami also, that is mentioned in his book also. Yes, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showered gorgeous mercy unto him. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Rupa Goswami 10 days in Dasashamatka. এই মতো 10 দিন প্রয়াগে রহিয়া রূপে শিক্ষা দিল শক্তি সঞ্চারী. In this verse, Srila Prabhupada has given wonderful pattern. For 10 consecutive days, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Rupa Goswami in prayer, empowering with the necessary potency. So, what is the meaning of empowering with necessary potency? Shakti Sanchari. This is a very important thing. This is a confirmation of the statement of Krishna Shakti Bina Nahe Tar Pravartan. This is a statement of scripture. Krishna Shakti Bina Nahe Tar Pravartan. The Krishna consciousness is spreading throughout the world. It is not possible without the empowerment of Krishna. So, Prabhupada quoted that line in so many places. People want to give credit to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, as Krishna consciousness movement is spreading, that means Krishna is empowered. So all credit should go to Chaitanya, or Krishna. Krishna Shakti Vinanaya Tattva. Unless one is specifically empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he cannot spread the Krishna consciousness movement. An empowered devotee sees and feels himself to be the lowest of men. For he knows that whatever he does is due to the inspiration given by the Lord in the heart. The empowered devotee always thinks he is the lowest. But you are doing so many things, you have done so many things, how it is possible? Yeah, Krishna is doing the credit. That is why we should all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Krishna. Actual credit should go to them. Sometimes people give us credit. But credit from where? As that credit should go to our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, Privacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is empowering. Tesham Shatadriktana Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Buddhijapam Tam Dino Pavajata. Krishna clearly told. Those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding, or I give the knowledge by which they can come to. That knowledge is given by Krishna. Dadami buddhi jagam. I give this knowledge. To whom? Tesham shatata juktana. Another point. To whom Krishna will give knowledge? Those who are satata juktana. Those who are engaged 24 hours in serving Lord. What is serving? Service means sign of love. 24 hours service, who can do that type of service? Service only possible out of love. Like people work in the office 5 days or 6 days in a week out of love of money. It is not that they like that job, that is why they are going. Because they want weekly holiday, casual leave. Because they don't like that. But mother's love for the child, they never thought, oh, I want to take leave from the service of my child. No. They get pleasure by serving them. We see our devotees also. They're chanting every day, 16 hours. Nobody think, okay, I am chanting every day, so one day I should take weekly holiday. No. Every day they're chanting. What is that? This sign of love. To be empowered by the Supreme Person of Godhead, one has to qualify himself. How one will get the empowerment from the Lord? This means that one must engage himself 24 hours in service of the Lord. Shatata Juktana. And that service, loving devotional service. The material position of a devotee does not matter because devotional service is not dependent on material consideration. Like in material consideration, for job needs age qualification. Child, old people will not get job. But in devotional life, old, there is no bar. The room Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, a small child. They pure devotee. No need of beauty. Kubja was not so beautiful, but she was pure devotee of Krishna. Gajendra is an animal. How much knowledge he had? But he was devotee of Krishna. Vidur. Vidurasya ka jati. What is background? Which family came in? He son of Shudra. Ugrasya kim Purusha. Ugrasya, what type of prowess he had? His son imprisoned him, but he was pure devotee. Shudam king Nathan. Shudam was very poor guy. He could not afford his daily food also, but he was a pure devotee of Krishna. So, material qualification is not adequate for devotee of Krishna. In his earlier life, Srila Rupa Goswami was a government officer and was a grihastha. He was not a sannyasi or a brahmachari. And he associated milestas and javanas. But because he was always eager to serve, he was a qualified recipient for the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. A sincere devotee can therefore be empowered by the Lord regardless of his material situation. Rupa Goswami mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also. Ihajasya haredasya karmana manasya nikhilisya avastasya jivan mukta sahajya. Ihajasya haredasya. If someone haredasya becomes servant of Krishna and That means one should serve Krishna. How? Karmana manasha gira. Through his body, karmana, manasha, mind, gira, words. When one serves Krishna through body, mind and space, whatever his situations, regardless his material situation, Nikhileship avastashu, wherever he may be situated, regardless that material position, one should consider him Jivan Mukta Shajjati. Jivan Mukta means he is liberated in his very life. The person acting in the service of Krishna with body, mind and words is a liberated person even in this material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. So to keep oneself free from material contamination and attain the Lord's favor, one must be sincerely eager to render service to the Lord. This is the only qualification necessary. Only qualification, Prabhupada said, only one qualification, one should sincerely try to serve the Lord. As soon as one is favored with the mercy of the spiritual master and the Lord, one is immediately given the power necessary to write books and propagate Krishna consciousness movement throughout the whole world without being hampered by material consideration. To when Krishna will empower? When Krishna will please. When Guru will please. When Guru and Krishna will please? When they will see the sincere attitude of service. That is why Prabhupada gives so much importance in service. Service now, Samadhi later. Service is more important. And also, in the definition of Bhakti, Prabhupada mentioned, Bhakti means devotional service. This Prabhupada's purport is very important. Normal English, Bhakti means devotion. Yes, there is no harm. But Prabhupada give clear definition. Not devotion. What is devotion? People may again ask, what is devotion? Devotional service. Service. What is service? Why, sir? That service should be out of love. From where that love comes? That love comes out of some attachment, ras. Bhakti, ras. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered him. And by empowering, he imparted knowledge on Rupa Goswami. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, Prabhu kahe, Sunarup Bhakti Rasera Rakhan, Shutru Rupe kahi Bistari na jai bana. O Rup, I will explain to you Bhakti Rasera Lakshan. And Shutru Rupe, I will give just synopsis form. It is very difficult to explain elaborately. Bhakti Rasher Lakshan. Again, that Bhakti Ras Amrit Sindhu, these 4 words nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada in Nectar of Devotion in the very beginning. Bhakti, devotional service. Ras, how does it mean Ras? Ras is a substance whose taste is very sweet. What is the purpose of Ras? Purpose of Ras to unite each other. Like water unites brick, cement, sand together. Without water, they cannot bind together. So who is binding? Water. What is the Ras? The Ras is actually binding. Like one person works in the office. How is going? Who is forcing him to go to the office? That's Ras. What is the Ras? Money. Money is forcing. Oh, if I don't go, I will not get money. So that Ras is money. But that force, the Ras, are of 2 types. Temporary and permanent. Temporary, like our loving relationship with someone. Temporary. Because body is temporary, I may like my mobile or laptop, but one day when you will be out of order, I will not carry that. So my love will go. So if we love someone and that thing is temporary, that love, that loving, that rasa also temporary. But some types of love, they are permanent. So this ras, melo, uniting force, temporary and permanent. And permanent thing is called Amrit, no death. Mrit means death. Amrit means no death. Mrit means death means temporary. Amrit means no death means permanent. Yes, this bhakti ras, this bhakti between soul with super soul, these both are permanent. Soul is permanent, eternal, and super soul also eternal. That is why loving relationship between soul and super soul also eternal. That is why the loving relationship between soul and super soul is called Amrit. Because both are eternal, that is why their relationship is also eternal. That is why the bhakti between Lord and his living entities, they are eternal. Other loving relationship, not eternal. That is why Bhakti Ras Amrit. That is why it's called Amrit. Then Sanskrit, another thing is Sanatan. Sanatan means also eternal. That was existed before, is still present, and it will remain in future also. The Bhakti Ras Amrit. How big? What is the quantity? Unlimited. Anything unlimited. We don't have any, normally we don't have any idea about the spiritual world. And material world, biggest thing actually is ocean. And that is why ocean is called Paravar, Apar. Apar means no limit, unlimited. So in material condition, we say ocean is limitless, Apar. So that is why here Bhakti Ras is compared with ocean. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, Srila Rupa Goswami gave the name of this book, Bhakti Ras Amrit Sindhu. And Bhakti is this compared like ocean. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Parapar Shunna Gavir Bhakti Rasa Sindhu Tomare Chakhaite Tar Kohi Agbi. This Bhakti Ras ocean is Parapar Shunna. Parapar Shunna means the no limit. Tomare Chakhaite Tar Kohi Agbi. I want to give you one drop from there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I'll not give you for drinking. No, it's so big, I will give you some drop to test it, so that you can understand what is there inside. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu nicely mentioned from the very beginning, like in Bhagavad Gita also we see Krishna is saying to Arjuna, I want to give this knowledge. Jnanam shabhijnanam idam bhakshami ashishta. Jnanam teham shabhijnanam idam bhakshami. I want to give this knowledge, not only knowledge, with realization. Jnanam shabhijnanam. Here also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving Rupa Goswami knowledge from the very beginning. He started considering in this material world there are living and non-living. Living are higher than non-living. Those are the living among them. Some can move, some cannot. Some can move, some cannot. So those who can move, they are higher than immovable thing, immovable living entities. And those are movable, out of them also there are different types. Some are in the land, some are in the sky, some are in the water. But higher is those who are in the land. In the land, there are also some are animals, some are also human beings. So naturally, human beings are higher. And among the higher human beings, there are three types: cultured, semi-cultured, and uncultured. What is cultured? Cultured is called in Sanskrit Sabha. Sabha means, Sabha means assembly. Those who are qualified to sit in the assembly, they are called Sabha. In dog society, we cannot think of, we will do meeting with the dogs. Dog cannot sit in a meeting. They are asabha, uncultured. Sabha means those are eligible to sit in Sabha, in meeting. So, among the human beings also, some are uncultured, some are semi-cultured, some are cultured. Who are called semi-cultured? Semi-cultured means they are externally looks like culture, but internally they are hard and dirty. And what is the qualification of culture? This Sabha. Actually, Sabha means those are following Vedic principles. They are higher. And those who are following Vedic principles, maximum, they are claiming we are followers of the Vedas. Actually, by name they are followers of the Vedas. Vedanishta Mordhe Adhyek, Ved Mukhe Mane. Ved Nishiddha Paap Kare Dharma Nahi. Those who are thinking, oh, we are the followers of the Vedas, they don't know what is the intention of the Vedas. Their designation, Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedis, but they never say what is Vedas. Still they claim that we are Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. Vedanishta Madhya Adhyek, Ved Mukhe Mane. And they are claiming they are follow the Vedas, but engaged in abominable activities. Very few they are following the Vedas. And those who are following the Vedas, maximum the karmis. In the Vedas, maximum part is the karma kanda. Some part jnana kanda and bhakti upasana kanda is very, very clear. And it is not very easily visible. We can see clarified butter ghee only after some procedure. Sugar candy, we cannot see in sugar cane, but only after some procedure. Mango tree, we cannot always see mango in mango tree after some time very rare condition. The same way, though Veda has three parts, karma, jnana and upasana is bhakti, but normally bhakti or upasana is not visible. So maximum people are follower of karma kanda and jnana kanda. And koti জ্ঞানী মধ্যে হয় একজন মুক্ত, কোটি মুক্ত মধ্যে দুর্লভ এক কৃষ্ণ ভক্ত। কোটি জ্ঞানী মধ্যে হয় একজন মুক্ত। There is out of crores of karmis, someone is জ্ঞানী, and out of crores of জ্ঞানীs, one is liberated. And কোটি মুক্ত মধ্যে এক দুর্লভ কৃষ্ণ, out of many crores, 1 crore means 10 million, So here koti crores means 10 millions. That means here koti crore madhya means millions and billions. Out of many millions, a liberated person, one is devotee of Krishna. So how rare the devotional service. Now by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada, we come across in Krishna Consciousness, we are practicing Krishna Consciousness, we are claiming ourselves we are devotee of Krishna, but it is not so easy to become devotee of Krishna. It is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy, Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy. That is why we came in contact in Krishna Consciousness. It's very difficult to get this type of rare opportunity. So one should understand the rarity of Krishna Consciousness. And this Krishna, how people get that? That is Krishna mentioned, Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagavanji. Everybody will not get this Krishna consciousness. Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagavanji. Only fortunate soul will come across in Krishna consciousness. How rare? Like in the middle of the ocean, there is a grass. It's touching in the waves of the ocean. What is its future? The only future is, after some time, it will die and it will fall in the bottom. So how much chance of a grass to come into the shore and it will again become a plant? Very, very rare. How? If someone is traveling or riding in the ocean, so if someone picks up that grass and bring that and plant in the land, only that is possibility. Or otherwise, through waves and waves, they come. That is very, very rare. So in the same way, we are in the ocean. How much chance to come into Krishna consciousness? Very, very rare. Another example, a dust. A one drop of dust, it falls in the middle of the ocean. What is its fate? If one dust falls in the middle of the ocean, what will happen? It will settle down in the bottom of the ocean. And millions or billions times, there is no chance of come in contact with the sunshine. But what is the possibility? If there is lotus, in the water we can see sometimes lotus. If the dust come in contact with the lotus, then he will not. And lotus, someone will pick up the lotus and put in the shore. So then he'll say. In the same way, Krishna's feet also like lotus. Though we are dust, drowning in the middle of the ocean, but if we take shelter in the lotus feet of Krishna, then we are safe. Brahmanda Bharmita Kono Bhagavanji, very, very rare soul. They'll come. How they'll come? Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Lata Peace. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna, they'll get the seed of devotional kripa. And when will they get the seed? He should sow it in the heart. And after sowing, what we should do? We should pour water in it and expose to sunlight. Exposed to sunlight means should be remaining associated devotees, and pouring water means hearing. So, after planting the seed, pouring water and sunshine, both are important. So hearing in association with devotees is the most important thing for the fructification of that seed. And when the seed will fructify, another thing is required. We should give a fence. Otherwise, a goat and other type of creature may come and eat it. That is, we should give protection. That protection also association with devotees. If we don't remain in association with the devotees, then we may lose our bhakti in association with the non-devotees. Now, when we are surrounded with the devotees, how do you see? When surrounded by the devotees only on business to glorify other. So when in association with devotees, do away rascal number one, other devotee glorify us. Wow, I am a great devotee. Devotees glorify us. So when it is another danger. So devotees nature to glorify other. So when we associate devotees, so by hearing that glorification, we started to think, yeah, I become a big devotee. Like outside people, how many times in their lifetime they got garland? But our devotees so many times, so how many days they are getting garland? So this type of recognition they are getting. So when they fence, that keeper will get water, fertilizer and protection. Outside the creepers, outside the grass, weeds, they will not get this type of thing. Nobody will give water and fertilizer and protection to any grass. But the grass is grass without that help. Everywhere you can see the grass. But inside the fence, this grass are getting water, fertilizer and protection. That is why it will become nourished and it will increase so much that it may obscure the main creeper. So that is why gardener should be very careful about the wheat. La puja pratishtha de upashakana. Name, fame, adoration, these are the weeds. So those are gardener, they should be very careful about these weeds. প্রথমে তো উপশাখা করে ছেদন তবে মূল শাখা বাড়ি যায় বৃন্দাবন. Nice gardener should weed it out fast. And another thing we should be careful. That is called, Kripa is very nice, garden, very decorated garden. But if a mad elephant enters in the garden, what will happen? It will spoil the whole garden. So, Vaisnav Aparad, Jyoti Vaisnav Aparad, Uti Hati Mata, Upali Ba Sindita, Shuki Jayapata. There, Vaishnava is compared with mad elephant. So, sadhakas, devotees should be very careful about that. Like criticizing Vaishnavas, the divine type of Vaishnava, criticize also one of them. So, devotees should be very careful about criticizing others, Vaishnava. Then, we have nicely decorated that garden, but we may have months together, years together, decorated the garden. But only one day, one elephant come, everything. So, months together, years together, cultivation will be vanquished on one incident. Unconscious, uncareful. If we are not careful about that mad elephant, Vaishnava Aparad, we may spoil everything. Now, if we take care of all these aspects, then this kripa evaluates you cross the boundary of this Brahmanda. Krishna Bhikkha Kalpa Bhikkha Koreaga. You will take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, and when the plant will reach there, it will bear flowers and fruit. And Mali, what will Mali do? Gardener do? He will pour water here. And Krishna will enjoy that fruit. How much Krishna can enjoy? But some flower, some fruit will ripe and fall down in the ground. And when some ripened fruit will fall down in the ground, Mali will say, oh, nice flower, a nice fruit, when you eat, oh, I have nice fruit. It's from my plant. So, my plant is there, giving nice fruit, why I am here? Then by following that creeper, he will reach to the lotus feet of Krishna, and by going there, I will start serving Krishna. That is this is love of Godhead. This is called Krishna Prema. In front of this, the other four types of Chaturvarga, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha. They are very insignificant from them. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Though they are the goal of life for the materialistic people, but in front of the Krishna conscious devotees, they are very, very insignificant. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given that thing to us. That is why Bhakti Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami understood that, the magnanimity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why Rupa Goswami told, prayed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nama Mahavadannaya, you are the most magnificent incarnation. Because how is one's magnanimity is considered? By calculation, two things. How costly thing is given? In what cost? The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the most costly thing, love of God. In which cost? Freely. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahavadani. Now, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who can give Krishna? Only Krishna can give Krishna prema. Nobody can give Krishna prema. So how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can give Krishna prema? That Rupa Goswami said, Krishna Krishna Chaitanya. Actually Krishna came in the form of Krishna Chaitanya. Now question may come, no. How you can believe? Is this color difference? The answer is the only color is the difference. Otherwise, everything is okay, equal. Gauru Tisha Namo. His color, only Tisha means color. Only color is golden color. Otherwise, he is Krishna. We are so fortunate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and gave Krishna consciousness philosophy. But due to Maya's influence, or even Krishna's arrangement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace, the teachings was practically lost. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur revived his teachings and birthplace and give the blueprint of Krishna consciousness in the form of Namat. And his son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, took up that mission, and in a broader form, he gave in the form of Gauriya Mata Chaitanya. And Srila Prabhupada wanted to spread that movement, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told his disciple to maintain this society through collective management. But his disciples are unable to understand his teachings. That is why Prabhupada, dearest disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Srila Prabhupada, he understood his mood and mission. Then he started this Gauriya Math in the form of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. And he told his disciples, don't do the same mistake what my Godfather did. So in ISKCON you should do manage collectively. And Srila Prabhupada's disciples took up that instruction of Srila Prabhupada very seriously. And after Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, though after disappearance of that type of personality, there surely will be crisis. But as the loyal follower of Srila Prabhupada took up the instruction of Srila Prabhupada very seriously, so even after departure of Srila Prabhupada, his movement is becoming stronger and stronger. When Prabhupada departed, that time he started only 108 temples. Now throughout the more than 900 temples. Books are increasing, everything is increasing. That means this movement is directly controlled and guided by Krishna. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tato. The way Krishna consciousness is spreading, there is no doubt about it that Krishna is directly guiding this movement. We are so fortunate that we have come in contact with this Krishna consciousness movement. Krishna will be very happy if we bring all the conditioned souls under the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada. Granthara Shri Chaitanya Chaitanya. Gaur. Hare Krishna.
My mic was muted. You didn't hear me. Oh, Hare Krishna. Anyway, I will thank again Bhakti Prema Maharaj for his talk, and remind everyone to please check out all of the Chaitanya Charitamrita series on our YouTube channel. Share it with your friends. Come back tomorrow and the next day and every other day up through Gaur Purnima to celebrate with us Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And of course, visit our website, share it with others, subscribe to our mailing list, follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell icon and get notified, and enjoy this diving deep into the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.